let's talk about fibro flare days. So, what is a flare? When we're talking about fibromyalgia, we're talking about the pain, the chronic pain, the muscle stiffness, the muscle weakness, things like that. And a flare of that is just how it sounds. Essentially, those symptoms flare up even worse than they normally are. And they can be to varying degrees in a person on any day. You could be in more pain or less pain, or more stiffness in your muscles or less stiffness in your muscles. But on flare days, most people have horrible, horrible pain, horrible stiffness, horrible weakness, and they get stuck in bed. So let's talk about that, because today I was stuck in bed. I had a horrible flare day. I knew it was coming. And I laid and slept in bed all day. I had to miss work, and I just got up just now. It's like, I think I've been up. I had a bowl of cereal. I got up at 4:30, something like that. So a flare, for me, looks like a bad, chronic pain, stiffness. I can barely move my legs. My arms, everything feels like they weigh like a ton, or that there are weights on my limbs, and so I struggle to get them to moving, and I struggle to get out of bed, to get to a standing position, to walk myself to the bathroom, all of those things. Needless to say, I don't normally make myself food. I will normally have like a bowl of cereal, and I often end up sleeping hours on end. So I slept all night last night. I woke up around the time that my husband went to work at like 7, and briefly went back to bed. Woke up again, Mochi scratching on the scratcher. Woke up again around 9, 10 or something, called into work, said I wouldn't be there later, and went back to sleep, and then woke myself up at 4:30. So someone smarter than me at this moment can do the math, because I don't remember math. And so I got a lot of sleep. I still feel like I could sleep all night tonight, and that I could sleep like I could go back to bed and go to sleep right away. And my hair is dirty, so it's up in a ponytail. Oh, sorry, excuse me. Yeah, so I'm tired all the time. Yeah, but so for a flare day, normally consists of staying in bed. And a lot of people who have fibromyalgia and have flare days miss out on a lot on those days. Obviously, I missed out on work. I had a whole plan to do some chores and some shopping, because Thanksgiving is coming up. I also have my husband's birthday coming up, and I have a gift I have to finish for him before then. I didn't get any of that done, and I feel way behind. And so that adds to my anxiety and stress of this season. And yeah, so it's great fun. Tons of fun. I'm ready to go back to bed. Yeah. So a flare day is not always one day. It can last multiple days. It can last a week. It really depends on the person and what they've been doing. And sorry, one more time. Okay. Yeah. What they've been doing. So for me, I knew this day was coming because I had abdominal surgery on Thursday. I slept all day Thursday and most of the morning Friday. Was up doing things on Friday. I had to work 6 hours on Saturday and work 6 hours on Sunday. And then I was supposed to have worked one more time 6 hours today. But I, as I said, woke up feeling super stiff and like my limbs were weighing a ton and I couldn't get them to move and all of that jazz, so I called in. So I knew this was coming because one, I used my, I was already at the point of using my cane. Sorry, 1 second. Sorry. I was already at the point of using my cane on Saturday. If you follow me, you know my cane's name's Sandy. Why, I don't know. Her name is Sandy. She's rarely used. That's the goal. But I used her on Saturday and refused to use her on Sunday, but probably should have. And I left work on Sunday night knowing that I was in extreme pain, tired, and that I would probably need a day of rest. And I can normally tell that because I know what it feels like before I'm going to have a flare day. I know what it feels like, what my body feels like when I've done too much. And I know what is required to get my body to rest and feel better again. And normally that is a day spent in bed, doing nothing, accomplishing nothing. Yeah. So, because of that, obviously I didn't get everything I wanted to get done today. I'm behind. I feel like I need to stay up late to try and get stuff done. But I'm not going to because I'm going to go to bed, as you can tell. I was going to get a video put out today about, oh gosh, what was it about? My brain stopped working. It was going to be about either mobility aid, like Sandy, or something else, but I don't remember. And let's be honest, I'll get to it eventually. I'll remember eventually. But today, I decided to instead swap that video, whatever that video was going to be about, out for Flare Day, so that we can talk about how fibromyalgia affects us to the extent of flaring up, causing us missing work or school or whatever life had or you had planned for that day, and being stuck in bed. And that is very tough to accept. I find it hard because I normally am trying to do multiple things at once, and I have a whole list of things I need to get accomplished, and now because I didn't do those things, I'm way behind. I didn't get them even remotely started, which sometimes I'll start some things and be like, yay, I got started, woo, yay. Yeah, no, I didn't get even started on them, and so, sorry, so we have to be accepting of our bodies and the requirements that they need now with fibromyalgia and any chronic illness that causes chronic fatigue. It can be almost always, there will be a time where you wanted to have gotten more done than you did. Probably wash my hair and things like that would have been nice too, but whatever. And you're not going to be able to get those things done because, of course, your body decides that it needs more sleep, or it needs more time to rest up. Oh, excuse me, goodness. Ugh. I don't want to take coffee. I don't want to have coffee now because it's 5 in the evening, 5:30 in the evening now, here in the Pacific Northwest, and I want to go to sleep, so I can sleep overnight because I have work tomorrow. Ugh. Okay. So flare days. Yes, I've probably been repeating myself. Let's be honest. I'm tired. But it's important that people understand that flare days are going to happen. So I don't have any children, but luckily I don't have any children because obviously I would have had to have gotten them up, fed, taken them to school, picked them up from school, all of that jazz. Luckily I just have a cat. Oh, I'm sorry. I have something in my eye. Okay. Luckily, I just have a cat that uh, woke me up a few times for food, woke me up to get her food like at 9 and things like that. So she makes sure that I don't forget about her. How much? So yeah, what was I saying? Flare days, they suck. And they're not great for employers because I had to call in sick. And luckily, some things that you can do to avoid a flare day is listening to your body. Honestly, the first thing that you need to learn when you have fibromyalgia is to listen to your body and understand what it's telling you. So I can go from feeling pretty good to feeling horrific within a matter of moments. And so learning to understand the signs of when I feel good, what those signs might be to indicate that I'm about to feel bad. And so, as I said, like I knew this day was coming. I knew because my body last night, literally my skin hurt to be touched by clothes. It felt as if I had a bruise all over my legs. Really, like the skin felt bruised, and so to the point where like my clothes touching my skin, it was painful, let alone like someone else touching me or me touching my legs or my arms. And so my extremities felt like they were essentially like extremely bruised, extremely painful. And the muscles were really stiff and painful to like flex. I was having cramps in the what's that word? In the arches of my feet. And I was having cramps in my calves muscles. My throat was really, really painful. I think we've spoken about before that I have sometimes I'll go into coughing fits like from my muscles in my throat having to produce words. And so I was painful in my throat. It hurt to speak. My TMJ was horrible. I was having a pain in my jaw that was turning into a headache. And I was just really, really tired. Normally, I know when I'm dead beat by the way that when I fall into bed, when I lay into bed, my muscles and everything just like I just kind of like melt into the bed and I can't move. I get there and I'm like, okay, now I'm not moving. And normally it takes me like a long time to like readjust and like I move a lot before going to bed, but like when I'm really, really painful, like, and I'm pretty much just done going to have a flare day, not going to leave this bed for the next like 24 hours, I lay in it and I just melt in it and I don't move at all. So, sorry, my legs are hurting. So yeah, the flare day. So I know that they're coming up because of that. And so you can avoid, obviously, you can avoid flare days by giving your body breaks. So I was somewhat stubborn and not taking Sandy on Sunday to work because she would have helped me get out of chairs using less of my muscles to rise out of a sitting position. Also, having her to push off the floor to walk provides more momentum moving forward, and so I use less muscles to keep myself walking forward or to get myself walking. And so she can be helpful in that regard. But honestly, I felt pretty bad on the Saturday night. And so if I had wanted to do anything that would have stopped today's flare would have been to like not go to work yesterday. And just to relax my body and to make sure that I'm listening to it and not doing too much and doing some stretching and things like that. But I couldn't yesterday was more important that I went to work yesterday than today, so I pushed it off, and obviously that affected my Monday, my day today. So you can definitely tell when a flare is going to be coming. There are a few times in which I would say you probably couldn't. Stress can cause flares, and so maybe you haven't been doing too much, but some stressful event has happened in your life recently, and that can induce a flare day. So I have not necessarily had that happen. Sorry. But yeah, so I know individuals in the community that have had that happen to them, having lost like family members unexpectedly and causing flares. So yeah, that can occur. What else? Words are really hard right now. I'm tired. So flares. Some people don't like that word because in the community, I know people who don't like that word because it makes it sound like all the other days you're fine, that like, or that the symptoms are, because the symptoms are so bad on a flare day, that means that maybe the symptoms are not that bad on your other days, which is not accurate. As I said, like my day leading up to my flare day, I was really painful and really tired and just really stiff and just all of the symptoms. Whatever, words are not coming to me, but you know what I mean. What I just said about sad Sunday. Oh gosh. Okay, so then people will often assume that means that on the days that you're not having a flare day, like your symptoms aren't there, or they're very little, or they're very like not affecting you all that much, because on a flare day they affect you so much. But that's not true. There's easily like a continuum line, like one side being the flare, one side being like you don't have fibromyalgia at all, and so you're not in pain or any of the symptoms. That side never occurs. First off, that never happens. Second, you're always in some sort of pain, chronic pain, fatigue, chronic fatigue. You're always in some of your top 5 symptoms, whatever they may be for you for fibromyalgia. Those are always there. They're never gone. They're never fully, they're never fully gone. They're always there in some manner. Whether it be, like only in your legs at that moment, or only in your shoulders, or you slept 10 hours last night, and you feel less tired waking up, but you're still somewhat tired, or like say you pushed yourself to do all of the chores and get the Christmas stuff up or something like that, and you felt pretty good. But then, in the evening now you're feeling really tired and really painful. So a lot of fibromyalgia has to do with the amount of energy that you have in a day. So people with fibromyalgia have a lot less energy to use in a day. They have less energy available to them to use to go do things than people who don't have fibromyalgia. And mostly, like, some of that idea can come from the fact that your body is using energy to send signals to your brain more often than it should be, to tell you like that something is painful, or something like the light is too bright or something like that, and causing those symptoms to be there essentially. Without that, if your body was working regularly in telling you that, like, hey, you just twisted your ankle, so maybe take it easy, then you would have enough energy. Besides your needing to take it easy on your ankle, you'd have enough energy to go clean your house and go to work and then come home and make dinner and things like that. A fibromyalgia person who is body is telling them not only did they twist their ankle and their ankle is super painful, super stiff, super weak, they can't walk on it, but now also because they've been walking weird, now their hips hurt, their other leg is hurting as well because they've been compensating, and all of that jazz. So all those signals, they require energy to send to your brain to tell you that, to interpret those signals in that manner of your ankle is hurting, your leg is hurting, your hips are hurting, your other leg is hurting, yada yada, whatever it might be. And so that's using a lot of energy that now you can't use to, say, clean the house. Instead, now you just go to work and you make dinner and you're still tired because you still did too much, because you still just didn't have the energy to do to do the work and the dinner. So yeah. So essentially, someone with fibromyalgia has a lot less energy to work with in a day than someone who does not. So you can use up that energy in a day by, say, so me having a surgery, my body's trying to heal from that. I slept a lot, but it's still continuously trying to heal. It takes me, it's sending extra painful signals to my brain. And then I went to work. I also did some cleaning around the house and made fudge, because it's that time of the year that I like to make fudge and keep the house extra clean, whatever. So then I, of course, went to work again. And so I'm using all this energy, and I'm using extra energy even that maybe my body doesn't feel that it has. So then when it comes to today or last night when I laid in bed, now my body's like, okay, you're not moving. You're not going to go anywhere. You've used too much energy. You're in the red. You don't have any energy to spare. And you need to make up that loss of energy by staying in bed and having a flare day. That's essentially what a flare day is. That's essentially what it looks like, what it sounds like. Some of the things that I like is that the people around me understand flare days. My work understands that I had to call in sick. I have an FMLA as well for my fibromyalgia, but my work has always been very understanding about my fibromyalgia, so I only work 6 hours at a time. They're very understanding about that, things like that. I'm hoping to change it, but we'll see. Some things I like, very understanding people around me that understand that some days that I just need to spend those days in bed to regain the energy that I use too much of. Let's see, my cat could be more understanding. That would have been great. She really needed some extra pets and some extra food and all of that, so it would have been nice to have her be more understanding. But other than that, I have great people around me, and so that's wonderful. It's really important that you have individuals around you that understand you're going to need a day every so often where you just don't move, and you may not know that day is coming up, and so you may have made plans, and you might have to cancel those plans, and it's not something that you wanted to do. You don't enjoy flare days, trust me, no one enjoys them, but you don't have any control over that, and so you just have to cancel those plans without much notice, and that's unfortunate. Mostly I find that the hardest thing to do is to give myself the understanding that I have this issue, and that sometimes I will have a flare day that I just can't get around, and I have to be understanding about that for myself. I have to be okay with the fact that this happens and I didn't get the things on my list done. I didn't get to work, and I slept until 4:30 and then just got up. That is really frustrating for me, because I'm the type of person that likes to, I have a list, I have to get these done, I have to move on, I have to do all of this. I've Normally I'm doing like 2 things at once often, and so it's really the hardest part for me is being understanding to myself that I needed today to rest. I knew I needed today to rest. I knew it was coming, but I can't be mad at myself or can't be harsh to myself about these things because it's just how it is now with fibromyalgia. I just have to be okay with that. And I have to be kind to my body and to myself for that. Yeah, sorry, I just saw the video was skipping. Ugh. Technology, man. Okay, so flare day. Please be kind to yourselves. If you have fibromyalgia and you're not able to do as much as you used to, that's going to be a common theme. Sorry. Yeah, that's just how it is. I often find that I consolidate more of the things I really want to do. So I do more, I know or I figured out what I really want to do or what I really need to do, and I do those first. I prioritize, and then it's okay if I forget or if I don't do other things or if I'm just too painful to get the other things done or to do all of that. I just have to be okay with that, and that can take some time and some healing and some understanding. But yeah. So I hope you all have a good rest of your week and a happy Thanksgiving. And yes, I have my Christmas stuff up already. I love Christmas. I won't apologize for it. And I hope you all stay happy and healthy. Bye.